constant demand for new content. So ang daming platform na nagbukas, so ang daming opportunity, especially for us from the showbiz industry. Nagsunod-sunod naman. So it actually started with Chef Chico. That was my first. We shot it first quarter of the year, and then I jumped right away to The Ride, the film that I did with Kyle, and it's with Cornerstone and Spring Films. And then I went to Ibarra. So when I said yes to Ibarra, it was I think 6 months before we actually started rehearsing. Same thing with Mallari. When I signed with Mallari, it was the day after Ibarra, but we were filming 4 months after. So my schedule was pretty planned out long before everything transpired. Basically, 6 months to a year, nakakasa na siya. So from Ibarra, I said I needed to take a break because it was different. It's all new to me. You know, first time I ever did a musical, so it kind of took its toll on my body and my mental being because I had to really dig deep and immerse myself. So I went on a vacation for a month. But nag-tour pa kami ng All-Star naman na Cornerstone sa States din. And then, so after Ibarra, I signed on for Mallari. And then as soon as I got back from my vacation, then na Milan, diniretso ko na yung Mallari. So,
So before we jump right into Mallari, because so much has been released before that, pero I want to focus first on yung Ibarra.
Yeah.
Like, how different was that experience? Because I heard that in college, you used to do theater.
Yeah.
And now, like, siguro after how many years that you've been doing like TV, diba? And the big screen, now you're vulnerable on stage.
I guess stage has always been my first love. It was my, kumbaga, it was an eye-opener for me when I started doing theater in grade school and then high school, all the way to college in UST. I just had this feeling that I wanted to act. So theater was my way in. But then my friends from Teatro were the ones who encouraged me to audition in ABS, Star Magic or Star Circle. But anyway, so I was doing theater in college sa Teatro Tomasino. And then, nung naging busy ako sa TV, sa films, every so often I'd get offers from different companies to do theater, to do stage. Be it musical or straight play. I just never had the time. Then finally, during the pandemic, for some strange reason, man, I got a call and then they asked if I was okay for a pitching. It just fell into place. I said, I've always wanted to do a musical. That's one thing I wanted to check off my bucket list. And then it just pitched Cancer. Cancer was the original title, which I saw back in high school. So sabi ko, I've always liked the novel. I read it, I taught it in high school. So nung pinitch sa akin, sabi ko perfect because I've always wanted to do a Rizal type of thing. So sabi ko sige, I said yes without thinking. And little did I know, it was like 95% sung. I thought it was a straight play with some songs. So I had to really dig deep and I didn't accept any work for it. And it was like going back to school. It was like going back to training because iba talaga yung disiplina. For 1 month, nag-check-in ako sa hotel, hindi ako umalis, doon lang ako malapit sa GSIS, and I just rehearsed every day. I did voice lessons every day, and I hung out with the theater people just to really immerse myself. And yeah, it was well worth it.
Would you say that that experience made you feel more alive than ever when it comes to like acting?
It made me feel as if there's chance for us Filipinos to really showcase our talents, not just abroad, but here. We have so many great performers that we have to export. And you know, we have the opportunity here. So I guess that's why theater community is thriving, because there's so much talent here. And what it taught me is really discipline. And yeah, it made me feel more alive in terms of, you know, acting, because iba-ibang medium yan eh. And for me to be able to do stage and come out alive, parang for me, yes, now I can breathe. But you know, definitely, you know, it's a lot of lessons that I learned. You know, I had to be a student from day one. Talagang everything was new to me. Everything was a learning experience. So it was great. Yeah.
But concisely, like, how do you think that experience added to your craft as an actor and a singer?
Let me just put it this way. When I came onto the Mallari set, I was nervous because I was always nervous when I was doing Ibarra. But that kind of triggered my intensity and to really just channel my passion for me to be able to execute the scene well. So with Ibarra, there's no take two. Everything was take one. So even on a bad day, you have to perform. So grabe lang yung disiplina talaga na-instill sa akin. With that, nadala ko siya all the way after Ibarra. It humbled me. It made me realize that, you can't always rest in your laurels. I mean, the only way to get over yourself is to think out of the box and do something different. Kasi pwede mong sabihin, okay na ako, I can settle. But the thing is, if you don't really get out of your comfort zone, you'll never know how far you can go and how much you can push yourself further.
Sorry, can I kind of extrapolate on that then? You said it's one of the ways that you can get over yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because sometimes when you think that you've done a lot, you've done so many things, you've achieved a lot, parang you're okay na. But the thing is, if you settle there, then there's not going to be any more growth. Diba? Kung tisettle ka lang sa magaling na ako, ang dami ko na nagawa sa buhay ko, may pera na ako, pahinga na ako, bakit? So, that's why it humbles me every time I take on a new character, a new work, or such as this, like in Mallari. It was hard. I had sleepless nights, literal sleepless nights. But I took it on because I wanted to challenge myself.
And speaking of like taking new things on, like making sure that you proactively pursue that, you were also part of Brillante Mendoza's star-studded Moro,
Yeah.
which recently screened at the Busan International Film Festival. So what was that like for you this time around?
All right, so the story behind it was he wanted me to do this film, Moro, originally, and we were gonna shoot in Mindanao, but Mr. M didn't allow me to shoot in Mindanao. So, but then Brillante said, hey, you really want Piolo in the film, so we had to compromise. I said, siguro probably I'll do the movie, pero I can only shoot in Manila. So what he did, he gave the role to Pera. For me, doing scenes with him, it was just really amazing. And then I'm playing his brother. So we transposed from Mindanao to Tanay, yung mga scenes namin together. And I worked with Direk Loris, I worked with Tito Bo. So with Dante, it was a different experience altogether because he makes you do improv. So when we did one reshoot, he explained to us, so Piolo, this is what's gonna happen. Ito yung scene, mag-aaway kayo dito ni Baron, asawa mo si Ina, and then yung asawa, si Beauty Gonzales pala yung asawa ko, and then there's Ina, asawa naman yung isa na parang, it's a family conflict. And sabi niya, ito yung mangyayari. So sabi ko, nasa yung script? I kept asking for the script, the sequence, hindi niya, wala nabibigay. And then only to find out na, kaya niyo na yan, bahala na kayo. Ako yung maraming sasabihin, paano to?
Super impromptu.
Impromptu siya.
Yeah.
So it's good. It was a good exercise. You really have to know your character. You really have to know what you're doing to be able to communicate the scene well and to convey the message that he wants to convey to the audience.
And doesn't that also require like a whole lot of background, technical study then?
What I do is I always make it a point to give a backstory to my character so that I know myself better, I know where I'm coming from, I know who I am and what I'm doing in the scene. Otherwise, I talk to my director, I talk to my co-actor, and I keep reading the script.
You know what, listening to you so far, parang it's so refreshing to find out that there are things that still surprise you, knowing that Piolo Pascual has gone through a wide variety of genre already. But how important do you think it is for you to be a vessel of these stories like Ibarra and then Moro and now Mallari as well? So these are like heavy storylines.
I was looking at my Instagram. I only I'm active, say some social media platforms with Instagram. All the rest I have, but we have our social media managers.
Really, you have TikTok?
Yeah, I do. Apparently, I have to. So anyway, so it's just Instagram. So I posted a trailer of Mallari, the teaser, and then they sent me the teaser of Moro. And then they sent me the teaser of the trailer of GomBurZa, and I was like, my gosh, sarap naman, to be part of, these historical films. It was such a privilege to be able to be part of something historical na at this point of my life and my career. This is not your typical rom-com that I'm accustomed to doing. These are milestone films. So ang sarap ng pakiramdam na you get to be chosen to represent a certain character, such as Pera, such as Mallari, such as Pedro Peláez in GomBurZa, and also this social political film Namoro. So parang you want to give voices to these characters, so you want to own it, and that kind of privilege only happens once in a while. So you really embrace it.
You know what?